Welcome to Eye on Paulsboro. This is Update 2, program number 2, with the continued coverage of the Paulsboro, what's being called Jefferson Street train derailment. One of the big issues and frustrations that has been talked about through town is the choppy flow of information. What's happening when, what's happening now, what do we do next? Steps are being taken to try and get this to work better. People deserve good information in a timely fashion so they can have confidence that everything is in hand and under control. Today, this program comes to you from the command center over in East Greenwich, and we're very fortunate that Captain Moore, who's quarterbacking the Unified Command, will join us with details. Also, Raylan Stevenson, who was eyewitness to the account, will be our first guest. So we'll set the stage again. Then we're going to have a detailed presentation by Captain Moore of where we are on this date of taping, which is December 6th. I'm looking at the clock about 10:04. So we'll have both of those segments. The balance of the program will be some of the stuff you've already seen, but for those who haven't seen it, it'll be new to you. And then we'll close the program out, and hopefully the next show we get to tell you that this thing is done. But before we go to the show, Irma, you've been at the Holiday Inn.
Yes, and they know we're from Paulsboro. I still have my Paulsboro shirt, John. I grabbed most of my Paulsboro shirts, and I need to go and buy things if we're going to stay there because Gary, Lynn, and Walt and I don't know when we'll get back in our home. But I'd like to thank everybody, and I made my comments well known to who I need to about communication, John. Paulsboro people are my people, and they need to know.
That is not unreasonable. And Irma and Walter and Gary and Lynn could be out a little bit longer. The other neighborhoods you hear the captain describe, hopefully we're getting very close to that ending. Stay with us. We're going to come back first with Raylan Stevenson and her account of that morning, and then Captain Moore with an update of this project as of December 6th at 4 p.m. We're coming right back.
Multi-policy discount, paperless discount, paid in full discount, homeowners discount, safe driver discount, chipmunk family reunion, someone stole the nuts, squirrel jail, justice.
Countless discounts. Now that's progressive. Call or click today.
Thinking about a new appliance or an LCD TV? Don't think twice. Think Weiss. Weiss True Value has a full line of LCD TVs plus a great variety of appliances. And of course, hardware items like TrueTest paints, Master Mechanic tools, electrical supplies, key duplicating, and Rug Doctor rentals. And for repairs on screens and windows, look no further. Weiss True Value, from making keys to selling appliances and LCD TVs. Don't think twice. Think Weiss. 39 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
As we continue to try to bring information to update the status of this issue in town, which we hope as you're watching this is winding down to a close, we want to go back and take a look at some of the things and details that happened. This has been very unique in the fact that our neighbors, Paulsboro residents, Gary and Raylan Stevenson's house is right near the tracks, a beautiful new home they built. And Raylan, who happened to be starting today, is eyewitness to the events as they unfolded. And that's very unusual when you have, train accidents. You don't usually have an eyewitness account. So first of all, Raylan, are we going to be able to do the Christmas show?
John, I'm hoping to get back in the house, get it ready for you.
Yeah, because you're out now where the operations are going on.
Yes.
That must tell us, there's been some accounts in the paper, but my goodness, think it was really happening?
John, it was so scary and so freaky just to see something like that happening at that moment. I just didn't know what to do. I just yelled for Gary and then jumped on the phone and dialed 911. It looked like slow motion.
Yeah, you get desensitized to this stuff because you watch motion pictures and cars are colliding, things happening. This was real life stuff. You got a train coming towards your house.
Yeah, and it just the way it happened, it was just slow motion, and then like a collision after collision after collision, and then all of a sudden the bridge just started going over like in slow motion. Wow. It was amazing, but yet it was scary. Did
you keep your eyes on it as the gas escaped, or at that point had you turned and looked for Gary and figured what's going on here?
Yeah, I just screamed for Gary, and he goes, "Oh, I know." He just thought cars tumbled over till he came down the steps and saw what was actually in the water. So he threw on his fire gear and ran outside and says, Ray Lynn, run inside and Google vinyl chloride stabilization, because he ran out and saw what was on the car. So I ran into the computer room, typed it in, and printed something out real fast.
Wasn't good news.
No, no.
Do you recall, I mean, and I hadn't asked Gary this, the gas escaped immediately, or did it take some time for the collision to occur and then the gas?
John, I think it was under 5 minutes when that started to happen. I have pictures that have time frames to them. The National Safety Board took them, and so this way they could go by time frame to see exactly what happened when and when everything started to clear.
That's huge when it comes to understanding what happened here. Did they get all the pictures? Because we may put this on the segment if we have some. But I mean, you know, that kind of documentation is so helpful. I mean, the papers have reported on the basics. The signal was red.
I saw the signal red.
Did you stop or did you go through it?
Stop, then go.
Yeah.
No. For some reason, it's a silly thing that I do. I look at the train all the time. I look at the lights all the time. It's something I do. I don't know why.
Well, because you live there. I mean, you're familiar with it. You live there. Yeah. The other account that's been relayed in the press reports is the trains didn't sound right over recent time crossing that bridge, because I guess you get used to a sound. Yeah,
it was the clicking sound over on the other side that actually closes on the West Deptford side. You could just hear that every time a wheel would go over. Click, 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 click. And then you could just hear it getting a little bit louder after time. And Gary's like, that doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good. So, but my opinion is the way I saw that crash, I think it was the other side of the bridge, the way it looked. But it could have been the other side, and then the way it fell, it looked like the side towards my house.
Well, the National Transportation Safety Board seems to be very thorough. In fact, I've been surprised that they've spoken as much as they have in the investigation being really in the early stages, because generally it takes a couple months for them to release things, but they've been outspoken about this.
Yes, I got interviewed by them on Sunday for over an hour. He told me that I was the first eyewitness he's ever interviewed for a train, and he did copy all of my pictures and take them for their report.
Very good. Now, you don't know when you're back in the house. This stuff can get flushed out by simply airing the house out. We need a new bridge, don't we?
Yes. Yeah. That thing, I think, has just had its day.
To say the least. And I'm so glad that you're safe. And that Gary is safe, and Irma and Walter is safe, and the balance of the neighborhood is safe. Because as difficult as this has been, as much an inconvenience that has been created by this, so far so good that everyone's in one piece. You can always put people back in their homes. You can always place that stuff together. So there's a lot to be thankful for. And also, for all of us who live here, I mean, we got spared on the hurricane. We haven't had the tornadoes. Been very fortunate. So you know what? We got one. Let's just hope we come out of this in one piece, and we seem on pace to do that. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
Life is a journey that we travel with a lot of uncertainty. When your family is faced with change and you're in need of understanding, direction, honesty, and professionalism, we at the Landolfi Funeral Home have a tradition of assisting you with all of your needs in any way that we can. We offer many affordable funeral services. Please feel free to call us with any questions you may have or visit us at www.landolfifuneralhome.com.
Rizzo Family Chiropractic Center in Gibbstown offers pain relief with a difference. Using specific chiropractic adjustments, Rizzo Family Chiropractic will get to the root of your problem quickly. Bring your headaches, neck, back, joint, or limb pain to Dr. Karen Rizzo. If you have recurring pain, chiropractic can help. Rizzo Family Chiropractic can relieve many sources of pain without extended treatment and ongoing therapy. Give your family the gift of caring professional pain relief with a difference. Rizzo Family Chiropractic.
We have a wonderful opportunity here to visit with Captain Moore, who is quarterbacking this operation involving the rail. She's been very kind to interrupt her day after doing a briefing with the Lieutenant Governor to join us here on Paulsboro so she can speak directly to the viewing audience as to some of the details. Now, if the picture gets shaky, that's because Fred is doing handheld, so it should be pretty interesting. But Captain Moore, first of all, welcome to the show. And as I said to Captain Weimer, we are appreciative and grateful. This has been quite an incident. I was at the town meeting last night, and people were there for information. I think in the end, a lot of people got served, but this is an opportunity for people who couldn't make the meeting or maybe couldn't hear clearly, so we can pick it up from there. So first of all, thank you for interrupting your day. You're operating the Unified Command, and what can you tell us at this point? I mention this, as again, we're taping. This is a Thursday. The days run together. I think it's December 6th, at least that's what, thank you, because that's what we started as this morning. So we pick up from there.
Day 7 of our incident.
Oh, my goodness.
It is, day 7 of our incident. So what we have is we have had a train wreck. The chemical is vinyl chloride that was released out of one of the tank cars that was breached. That vinyl chloride chemical is a toxic and very flammable chemical. Its character is that it is a liquid and evolves vapors when it's released to the atmosphere. When it's transported in these specialized rail cars under pressure about 30 to 40 psi. When we had the release into the community, that created the shelter in place that was originally the alert that originally went out on Friday morning. And that vapor cloud, if you will, went through the community. And since then, we have been working very close to the site, as well as had continuous monitoring for vinyl chloride in the community. It's a toxic chemical, and it is very, very flammable. So all of our work has to do with these train cars that are made of steel. Steel on steel creates sparks, so you can imagine it's a tremendously difficult operation, and we've been moving very safely and deliberately to get it resolved as soon as possible. We have continually conducted vinyl chloride and volatile organic compound measurements in the community's air, driving up and down the streets, an array of stationary monitors throughout. I know it's been incredibly disruptive in terms of having these on-again, off-again shelter-in-place alerts. What that does, though, is we've set an action threshold at 1 ppm for vinyl chloride. The action threshold is set at a level where there are worker occupational standards, and basically what it assumes is for somebody who works in that industry and may work with that chemical on a daily basis, 1 ppm is they can work with this chemical at or below 1 ppm and not have to put on any respiratory equipment because it doesn't present to them a health risk.
And ppm is parts per million.
Parts per million, that's correct. And we have instrumentation that's able to measure that. And so what we have set for the threshold, both for the workers at the site who are working the derailment site and correcting all of these problems, as well as for the community, is to say our action level, in other words, we're going to either set an alert or we're going to, at the site, don respirators, is 1 ppm. Okay, that's the lowest, if you will, the most sensitive standard that we could have possibly set. You could sit in, if there was an incident where you were exposed to this material, the industry standard for 1 hour's exposure is 250 times that. So we're talking a very sensitive standard. It creates disruption for the community because we alert for that 1 ppm measurement often. We ended up having that problem with the marine layer Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning. We kept turning this shelter in place on and off. I know it's disruptive for the community. We had an evacuation zone that we actually set up on Friday afternoon. We got a lot of the people out of the community, up to 48 homes. And then by Monday, on Monday night, we had a shelter in place that lasted Monday night all the way through Tuesday morning and into Tuesday afternoon. We got to that place and we realized that the shelter in place is tremendously disruptive for the entire borough of Paulsboro, where it's really the area of concern is limited to very local to the wreck site. So at that time, the Unified Command, through a series of debates and discussions considering all of the factors, weather, measurements, where people live, where would they go, all of those concerns, we scribed an expanded evacuation zone so we wouldn't have to basically take all of 6,200 residents of Paulsboro and keep giving them shelter-in-place commands when the measurements we have are limited to an area very much adjacent to the wreck. and in the direction where we can pretty much assure that the weather that we see, both in the days that we made that decision and out from that, would not present a risk into the community. We were able to do that, and since then we have not had to use that shelter-in-place tool because we have had no detections of 1 ppm or above of vinyl chloride in the community. So as disruptive as it was, the expanded evacuation zone has been, I think, the right tool because it's really put people out of the zone of concern, and the rest of the community has remained safe without the shelter in place.
That explanation is very helpful because the questions we're getting is why this area and not that area. And some of these things are changing and have changed as the incident unfolded. Now, as we tape this program on Thursday for you to see, the captain has given briefings today, and you've had great progress on the residual product that was in the car that was damaged.
That's correct. I'd like to actually describe kind of how hard this is, though. One of the things we have is if this is our site. This is our gray vinyl chloride car, part of whose structure is actually inside our breached car. And this is a close-up of that breach. This is the vinyl chloride car that's breached. This is part of the structure associated with how the car is cradled so it can sit on rail wheels, the truck and wheels associated with being on the railroad, that's attached to the tank itself, this other vinyl chloride car. Part of this structure is feet into this other tank. And so we've had to access this tank in order to draw product off with this structure still in place, not able to move it because of the flammability issues. But we've worked around, inside and around, that's about 3 feet by 1 feet of an access hole. But as you can see, it's tremendously jagged, it's tremendously difficult, and we've worked around to remove the product. Beginning yesterday, we pumped in acetone, which is a liquid that dissolves vinyl chloride. And so while very flammable, the acetone plus vinyl chloride plus water mixture that we put when we add the acetone in takes the toxic element out of it. So it's no longer toxic. It's still hazardous, it's still flammable, but it's no longer toxic. And so as we did that operation yesterday, and we did it in 2 sections, about 3,000 gallons of acetone in, pump that off, controlling the vapors into 8 evacuated rail cars. Then we did it again, so we have dilution plus mixing. And so we pumped more fresh acetone in, allowed that to mix with that vinyl chloride plus water plus acetone mixture, and then pull all of that out. And so we completed that action last night. We also then have gone in after that and steamed the inside of this rail car. What does steaming do? Okay, remember I described the cargo is as a liquid that volatilizes to a vapor. That volatilizing action happens faster and more completely at elevated temperatures. So it's like creating steam. If you boil water, just before you boil it, you see a lot of steam come off. That happens when you add steam to this particular chemical, and we were able to get the cargo, the remaining cargo out essentially that liquid, that acetone plus vinyl chloride plus water mixture out by adding the steam and essentially steam cleaning that car. Then you let that car cool and get back to its normal temperature. And then we've been reading and taking readings of that car, and we have no explosive atmosphere left, and that's a tremendous concern. So we've now removed both the toxic risk associated with the breached tank car and the flammable hazard associated with the breached tank car. Okay, then what do? Then we backfill into this tank car nitrogen so that we purge it, so that it is essentially a lot safer to start to make operations in terms of moving steel on steel and getting one car out of the other car so they can be safely removed.
And as you move to the next operation, residents, of course, have seen the boom on the one crane coming. So that takes us, as we're taping this on Thursday, the captain's brought us up to speed with the good news of the fact that the remaining product is out of that tank, and that tank has been washed. And now you're continuing to monitor to see if the vinyl chloride, which you said has been pretty tricky here. I mean, it's hit.
Tremendously challenging. It has reappeared, after our wreck on Friday and the initial vapor cloud. It it has reappeared in the mornings and evenings associated with the marine layer. Night before last, we had a cold front come through, we had a nice windy day, and we had no detectable vinyl chloride anywhere. But tonight is a really important night because we believe we have eliminated the source. Now is the time to see if there's any other source of vinyl chloride, whether it's anywhere underneath the bridge or anything else that we have to deal with before we can say, okay, we've gotten all of the cargo, all of the risk removed and taken care of.
Well, we're hopeful, by the way, that this effort is successful, and nature has to cooperate a little bit as well. Big effort made here. Now, this next phase, and we'll probably be back to visit at some point. Really want to be back when you tell me it's all done, which will be the best program of all. But the movement of these cars, you mentioned the structure and the integrity of the cars that are carrying this product. Conrail seems to think that they're able to handle these.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about these cars. These cars are specially designed to carry hazardous materials. These cars are actually designed and dedicated to carry exclusively vinyl chloride. There is an inner tank where the liquid is held. There is then outside of that, there's insulation, 4 to 6 inches of insulation, and then an outer steel jacket. That outer steel jacket is a rail car. That's what you see when you see on the road. You don't see what's carrying the liquid. You see only the jacket part. The ends are actually a much thicker than the 9/16 inch steel. That's the round part you see. The ends are thicker because, as you understand rail operations, the chance for them to hit end to end or have any kind of sustain any kind of damage that way, they've toughened up the ends. They are designed to be lifted as those cylinders without the wheels and the trucks. They're designed to be lifted with the cargo in them. So there's no problem structurally in lifting these rail cars, these tanks. They're designed to be moved with the cargo in them. They're actually safer because they have all that structure in place, and as long as the tank is integrity is fine, it's no problem to lift them. They are designed with lifting points. In other words, the structures to strap onto and hook onto are already in place.
And the reason that description I think is very important to people. First of all, after this incident is finished and the bridge is repaired and in the end replaced, because believe me, we're going to figure a way to get a new bridge here, these cars are going to continue to move. And these kind of cars move across America all the time. This is not unique to Paulsboro. This is a common product used in industry with many applications. So when you see these cars go down the road, as the captains described them, they're designed for this, and that's coming into play at this point. And so it's likely then, if you're successful, if the operation, as you described, you clean the tank, is successful and the readings continue to be 0 or thereabouts, that people may return to their homes, but some of the operations could be ongoing while they're in their homes.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick look over at this picture right now. In order to be able to get the crane in place to be able to move the remaining of the rail cars, we have a crane barge that's on station right now. We have to remove these structures. These are dolphins associated with a protective, essentially a bumper, so that marine traffic doesn't damage the bridge. It hits the bumpers, so they're dolphins, and then we have a fender.
Well, let me understand it. So we have protection so marine can't hit the bridge, but the Conrail figured a way to hit the bridge.
I'm not going to touch that one. So this is the structure of the bridge that swings. It swings into this area as it rests. That is part of the fendering that needs to be removed in order for us to bring the crane close enough to start reaching across the bridge into our wreck site to be able to remove the wreckage. We have evaluated this area on the Delaware River side of the bridge. In Mantua Creek with sonar technology to assure that there are no obstructions related to that area, so we can put the barge in here, the crane barge in here with absolutely no problem at all. We've also done dive operations on this side. We have assessed dive operations, the ethanol car. We have assessed the pressure with this car, all of which contain vinyl chloride. And these cars are not breached. This ethanol car is not breached. So we feel very confident. And we have actually, we feel very confident that the only breached car is this car right here. And it's making this one safe, gives us a site that we can start to do some very, very challenging removal operations.
You also mentioned, which I think the viewers will be interested to hear, that when the event occurred on Friday at 7 o'clock in the morning, there were no provisions in place to deal with any kind of release of vinyl chloride or anything for that matter. This area is now surrounded by pumps of over 6,000 gallons per minute in the one pumping system without having to have manned personnel there. So you're in a position, should something happen during the lift, to react.
Yes, we have we have a series of lifting operations that are going to take place days worth. And we have provisions on site to control vapors should anything unforeseen happen. We really believe that we have gone through all of the foreseeable addressed all the foreseeable issues, but understanding there might be some compromise someplace, we have many provisions in place to protect the community. We also have active throughout the community stationary and moving air monitoring. So again, that threshold of 1 ppm, we detect it anywhere, we go back to a shelter in place. So we're all safe.
A point on the air standard, too. As people are allowed to return to their homes, you pointed out a process that's going to take a great deal of resource. You will enter these homes with the individuals and check the air.
That's correct. What we're going to be doing is when we get to the place where we can let people back in their homes, if they've been evacuated out of their homes, we're going to be able to go in and monitor, evaluate the air in their homes. The first thing we're going to be measuring for is volatile organic compounds. That is a general measurement. It is sensitive, but it doesn't tell us specific for vinyl chloride. If we get a volatile organic compound detection, then we will measure specific to vinyl chloride. The reason why we don't start out measuring specifically for vinyl chloride is the instrumentation associated with measuring for that, were it to get to a high value, would destroy the instrumentation. And so in order to protect the instrumentation, we do volatile organic compound first, and then we follow on with the vinyl chloride specific detection. And we have set the standard very low in the billions, in the billion part per billion level. As far as detection, we're using very sensitive detection instruments. So I think we have very high confidence that once we get to a home and we say that it's clear of vinyl chloride, it's clear of vinyl chloride.
And should it not be, we were also told and understand that this is not a material that stays. So it's not as if the house can never be occupied again.
Absolutely. It's just a question of ventilating the house until it is clear. Now, if we have a basement and it's hard to ventilate a basement, we may have to put a big fan down there or something to that effect. But basically ventilating home and running the HVAC system until that home is clear, and it's not a persistent, it doesn't stay on a surface, it's a vapor, and so we'll get it out.
Very good. Captain Moore's visited with us, but before she leaves us, you've heard me say that there are people associated with this. I had asked you earlier, you're originally from the suburbs of Philadelphia.
Yes, I am. I'm from Broomall, Pennsylvania.
Great place, by the way. How many years of service in the Coast Guard?
22.
It's almost a career, by the way.
I'm shooting for a career.
And do you recall at the Coast Guard Academy the great detailed explanation on train cars?
Actually, I didn't attend the Coast Guard Academy.
Really?
No, I'm a graduate of the University of Maryland in mechanical engineering.
Very nice. Terrapins, going to be in the Big Ten soon, along with Rutgers State University. The people associated with this process are people like yourself, their neighbors, who have chosen careers in various areas. I know there's been a lot of frustration, but you can sense from the captain's detailed explanation here that the one constant has been the public safety. And at times where it appears to have gone slower than all of us would have liked, it has never been because someone didn't want to do something. It's because every step was taken at a half step if that was thought to be in the best interest to protect the public interest. We appreciate the captain with an update. We may have her back on again. We'll be right back.
Multi-policy discount. Paperless discount. Paid in full discount. Homeowners discount. Safe driver discount. Chipmunk family reunion. Someone stole the nuts. Squirrel jail. Justice.
Countless discounts. Now that's progressive. Call or click today.
Thinking about a new appliance or an LCD TV? Don't think twice. Think Weiss. White's True Value has a full line of LCD TVs plus a great variety of appliances. And of course, hardware items like True Test paints, Master Mechanic tools, electrical supplies, key duplicating, and rug doctor rentals. And for repairs on screens and windows, look no further. White's True Value, from making keys to selling appliances and LCD TVs. Don't think twice, think Weiss. 39 West Broad Street, Paulsboro. Life is a journey that we travel with a lot of uncertainty. When your family is faced with change and you're in need of understanding, direction, honesty, and professionalism, we at the Landolfi Funeral Home have a tradition of assisting you with all of your needs in any way that we can. We offer many affordable funeral services. Please feel free to call us with any questions you may have or visit us at www.landolfifuneralhome.com.
Rizzo Family Chiropractic Center in Gibbstown offers pain relief with a difference. Using specific chiropractic adjustments, Rizzo Family Chiropractic will get to the root of your problem quickly. Bring your headaches, neck, back, joint, or limb pain to Dr. Karen Rizzo. If you have recurring pain, chiropractic can help. Rizzo Family Chiropractic can relieve many sources of pain without extended treatment and ongoing therapy. Give your family the gift of caring professional pain relief with a difference. Rizzo Family Chiropractic.
We've stepped outside of the command center here on the campus of the Gloucester County Fire Academy. You've seen a lot of footage. You're going to see a lot of footage of all the activity going on. Our local officials have been engaged at every step of this. With me now is Jeff Hamilton. It's not as if he needs an introduction, but Jeff has been hands-on as this has unfolded. Jeff, your assessment, because emergency management starts locally. I mean, we have a lot of volunteers in this mix.
Yes, we do. We have mutual agreements with all the different towns that come around in our area. And I'll tell you what, they came along to help us out. But I have to say, our police department, also our fire department and emergency management team has done a great job, and we should commend them for doing that. And right now, they're still on the scene trying to filter out different things that are going on, especially in the area that this has taken place.
It's not uncomplicated. And Jeff, as all of you know, myself, we're longtime residents. So, you know, we're used to some things happening. But I think it's very safe to say that this is probably the worst train incident to occur in Gloucester County, and certainly this region, Jeff, because I don't remember that we've had something this significant. We've had train derailments before. We've had a propane tank off the tracks, but not to this point.
That's true. The train derailment that we had, 2 years ago, they just came off the track, the cars. But I'll tell you, this one right here is an unusual one, especially with this here vinyl chloride, which is one of the main ingredients that a lot of the companies around here uses. Yeah,
and it's not something, it's ideally designed to stay in a containment. It's not supposed to get out, and in this case, some of it got out. So at this point, this is ongoing because, again, when we record this, things change quickly. So I guess, Jeff, we tell residents to just stay closely alert to information and messages.
Yes, please stay closely alert, especially with TV and emergency response. Listen to the announcements that we have that comes from the Borough Hall. We have a siren right out there, a first response siren to help our community know exactly what's going on here. Right now, our group has been doing a great job in trying to handle this here program. More or less a program now, because we are trying to iron out a lot of things and trying to secure the residents, because safety is our first thing for the residents of Paulsboro.
Well put. Public safety, the main responsibility of government. We thank Mayor Hamilton. These guys are on this job around the clock. We're going to ask Alphonse to come in. Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to have Alphonse come in and talk to us. Alphonse Jean-Paul is going to join. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Alphonse is going to join us. Come on in, Alphonse. Alphonse is, of course, he is the fire chief presently, also serves on council. He's the assistant to Glenn Romick on emergency management. And Alphonse has been ground zero in the briefings, in the meetings, representing the voice of the emergency management office. Glenn is on site with fire truck pumper response. Alphonse, first of all, as I said to the mayor, thank you for your service. This is not a paid position, and I know you've been here every step of the way.
Yes, as you know, Paulsboro is where I'm from. 53 years, 35 in the fire company. Wouldn't want to be any place else but helping the safety of the residents. We've had a great response to this from county, state, and federal. As you know, we have the NTSB in, the Coast Guard's here. County emergency management's here. I've been deemed as being first on location as being the incident commander and part of Paulsboro's Unified Command, which is going on here at headquarters. We're managing the situation. It's not by any means contained. We're managing it at this point. This is day 3, and we're working on it. It's work in progress.
Well, it's an important work in progress. Remember, our firemen, emergency management people, they're all volunteers, and with great support of others, as the mayor mentioned, from the mutual aid structure that's in place. Alphonse, I mean, I've been around this entire time. I think everyone has done what they're supposed to do.
Yes, we had the notifications go out. We did the things that we were supposed to. That's why we evacuated that 12-block area. There were the things to keep our people safe. We've asked the experts, the people that make this stuff. They've told us what we should do. We've been in a lot of contact with the people that make the rail car. We haven't let anything be no stone unturned. Whatever we needed to do.
I might add, just for clarification, again, remember we taped the show on December 2nd. Originally, the press release on the evacuation past the immediate area was said to be an estimated 500 people. I don't suspect 500 people had to be evacuated. That number seemed high.
Yes, I think it was a guesstimate on their part because of the 12-block area based on population models. But I believe our exact numbers are 48 homes. A few people chose to stay in their residence. I believe 105 were boarded elsewhere, and a few went to family and friends. So yeah, it was nowhere close to the 500 residents.
Very good. And remember, we're recording this on December 2nd. So as you're watching, the circumstances could have changed again, because the next point of attention comes when those cars have to be lifted from being derailed, placed either on barge or on land, and in a safe position. So that's why we have continued to stress at press conferences. And as the mayor said, you got to stay alert for announcements in case that evacuation that's presently in place has to expand a little bit on a temporary basis till the cars are removed. Alphonse, thank you.
Thank you.
Are you getting any rest?
A little bit.
Very, very good. We're now going to ask Vern Marina to join in. He's captain of the police department. Chief is not on site today, but he's in constant touch with him. I asked Vern to come on because our police have been working very hard. They are our first point of contact when these evacuations have to be unfolded. And as the incident occurred at 7 o'clock that morning, it was the quick response of the Paulsboro police that were able to get people notified in the immediate area that we have an incident and they should take steps to find shelter. So the department functioned well.
That is correct. When the incident occurred, it was the 911 was notified, and our officers responded within seconds of the incident. I think our officers did a fantastic job. The patrol responded. They seen there was a serious incident, and they were able to make notifications to the immediate house families that were affected by this derailment.
Now, as Alphonse said, we're in day 3. How's everybody holding up? You don't have a 200-man department.
That is correct. Our guys, unfortunately, in an incident of this nature, our guys know that they're going to be in town, and they have all committed. They're working around the clock. We are giving them their rest that they need. That's just as important. But our officers are here. They're working steadily. We have security is in place for the residents that have been displaced, so we can that area is in essence locked down, so that is secured, and we have roaming patrols. We have a lot of assets on the ground at the site and in the blocks that have been evacuated.
Very good. We appreciate that update from the police department. As again, they are on the ground, first line, in notifying residents and helping make certain that public safety is assured. We're going to come right back as we do this update on behind the scenes, the emergency response to the train derailment on Jefferson Street Bridge. Be right back.
Multi-policy discount. Paperless discount. Paid in full discount. Homeowners discount. Safe driver discount. Chipmunk family reunion. Someone stole the nuts. Squirrel jail. Justice.
Countless discounts. Now that's progressive. Call or click today.
Thinking about a new appliance or an LCD TV? Don't think twice. Think Weiss. Weiss True Value has a full line of LCD TVs plus a great variety of appliances. And of course, hardware items like TrueTest paints, Master Mechanic tools, electrical supplies, key duplicating, and Rug Doctor rentals. And for repairs on screens and windows, look no further. Weiss True Value, from making keys to selling appliances and LCD TVs. Don't think twice. Think Weiss. 39 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
Welcome back. We have moved to on-site, well, as close as we can get to on-site safely, so we could be with Glenn Remick. He is in charge of the Emergency Management Office in the Borough of Paulsboro, has been doing that for a number of years. It's a volunteer position. He is very diligent and pays a great deal of attention to the details. And of course, this plan has had to be put in full force and effect. So first of all, Glenn, I want to thank you for your service, and I mean that. You not only are a friend for a long time, but you've been around the clock on this stuff, and it's all volunteer. So can you give people a sense, because they're seeing on the news what happened, but they don't get to see this part?
Okay, well, what we're doing now is Conrail has their hazmat team in. They're getting ready to offload the one rail car that still has material in it. As you can see behind us, there are rail cars. They're going to take the liquid and put in the one rail car, and the other rail cars are for vapor. So it's done in a timely fashion to make sure that everything is, there's no problems. Checked, rechecked before people go in. They're checked. They're on air monitoring going on the entire time they're in, and making sure that they are safe along with the residents and keeping everybody else safe.
Now, Glenn, you guys have been out here doing various things. In addition to Conrail and their professional response and some of their experts that are on site, you've got fire trucks on the street, you've been moving water, and you've got the mutual aid in full engagement.
Yes, we were dispatched to the incident early Friday morning, right around 7 o'clock. The fire department responded, and we initiated the plan as soon as we got on site. Started to making the notifications to the people that we had to notify, and we have been on site since 7 o'clock Friday morning, round the clock. We have had mutual aid companies come in. The Paulsboro Fire Department was actually relieved by mutual aid companies yesterday afternoon at 3:30, and we were back out on the street this morning at 6:30. But we've been here, volunteers from the area. We've had volunteers from Swedesboro, from Mantua Township, our neighbors in Gibbstown. East Greenwich is here with us again today. We've had some mechanical issues with trucks, which is normal for the age of our equipment. We've handled that and having that taken care of. But the mutual aid companies have been great. Volunteers. We do this for nothing, and we've been here and been on site, and we're keeping ourselves safe and everyone else that's doing the job also.
And I should add good support, Red Cross, those responsible, provisions are in place, people getting fed. I mean, basic things like that for people that are out here for long periods of time.
Well, I can tell you that Conrail themselves have actually brought food here. Last night it was almost like a banquet. They had gone to Boston Market and brought chicken, mashed potatoes, corn. Today they had hot wraps and soup, which they brought to the site for us. So we brought tables and chairs from the firehouse so that we had a place to sit down and take a few-minute breather. But as you can see, we did pump water starting Friday afternoon at about 4:30. And we've pumped water almost continuously. We stopped about 2.5 hours ago because they're going to go onto the tank and start getting the product out of the tank.
You say pump water, that was to create a fog to help just keep the scene contained?
To keep the scene contained, and any vapors, to keep the vapors from getting out into the atmosphere.
Very good, Glenn. This has been a real effort, and again, the goal of this program was to let people see what your neighbors are doing under these circumstances. First rule here is both public safety and safety of these volunteers and these professionals who are responding to this train derailment. Glenn, you've been at this a long time. I mentioned earlier in the program, this may be the most serious train incident in Gloucester County's history.
Oh, definitely been the most severe that's been in Paulsboro. We've had one car tip. We're on its side before. We're almost all the way over, and then we had the one in 2009 where it tore up the tracks. This is the most significant rail car incident that we have had in Paulsboro, and you may be correct about the county.
I think there's a reasonable chance that may be the case. And by the way, let's hope it's the last one. We get this bridge replaced in a way that the chance for failure does not occur again. Not that anything's ever perfect, but a bridge that was built in 1873 has no place in a modern rail system, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Stay with us. We're going to come right back. Thank you, Glenn.
Life is a journey that we travel with a lot of uncertainty. When your family is faced with change and you're in need of understanding, direction, honesty, and professionalism, we at the Landolfi Funeral Home have a tradition of assisting you with all of your needs in any way that we can. We offer many affordable funeral services. Please feel free to call us with any questions you may have or visit us at www.landolfifuneralhome.com.
Rizzo Family Chiropractic Center in Gibbstown offers pain relief with a difference. Using specific chiropractic adjustments, Rizzo Family Chiropractic will get to the root of your problem quickly. Bring your headaches, neck, back, joint, or limb pain to Dr. Karen Rizzo. If you have recurring pain, chiropractic can help. Rizzo Family Chiropractic can relieve many sources of pain without extended treatment and ongoing therapy. Give your family the gift of caring professional pain relief with a difference. Rizzo Family Chiropractic.
Welcome back to the program. As we continue this look of the response to this incident, and as we get into the show and go behind the scenes, which I hope you're going to find informative, we thought we should start at the beginning. Gary and Raylan Stevenson have a beautiful home they recently built that sits very close to the site. Irma and Walt Stevenson live across the street. So this is a very rare occasion where there's actually firsthand witness of something like this happen. And although the media has reported widely, this is a neighbor who's directly affected. Now, Gary is dressed the way he's dressed because, first of all, he's a borough councilman, but he's also a longtime Paulsboro volunteer fireman. He has been municipal fire chief, and he has been in the front line of response in a place where his own home was affected. He is an employee of ExxonMobil, and they have given him time to continue to serve, as he's used up his off time for this. But Gary, first of all, and Irma as well, the fact that you're safe, Ray Lynn's safe, Irma and Walter are safe, I mean, that's the blessing of this. But this has been a bad one.
John, that's one of them things when you hear about airplane crashes. Oh, it's always some other town, some other state. You don't expect it to happen here, especially you don't expect it to happen 50 feet from your own house. But it's been harrowing, but we were blessed, and that train could have blown up. I don't know how it didn't, but it didn't. So I'm here to talk to you.
Well, first of all, we're glad to talk to you, and thank you for your service in this effort, because this is December 2nd as we tape this, and these shows we don't do, we're not doing this hourly. So hopefully everything's even better on December 3rd. But this is still very active.
Oh, yeah, we got a big-time active scene here. I mean, it's always a next step, and safety is a key factor. Every morning we have this huge half-hour safety briefing. It's all basic stuff, so you don't forget. Wear your safety glasses, wear your safety shoes, the whole 9 yards. Safety is priority one on this job. I can assure the residents and all our workers, our firemen, we're safe. We're working safely.
Yeah, I should have asked, and what was it like that morning?
Hey, John, I just got home from work after working all night, and we just went to bed at 7 o'clock, and Raylan was down getting ready for work, and I literally got shook out of my bed. My house rocked and swayed. I heard her scream, "Gary, get down here, a train's derailed." Guy, get down here. So I came down, and I was expecting an engine turned over. I can't say on TV what I actually said, but I said, holy, I saw these trains, stuff spewing out over the creek. I mean, I immediately went into my fire chief mode, made the calls, got the placard number, what is it? And then, of course, I'm councilman, public safety director, and how's it affecting the town? You're wearing 5 different hats. You're worrying about your wife, your house. And so it was something that, and Raylan saw it from the beginning. She was there drinking coffee. She saw it all began, and she said it was surreal how the like in slow motion, it just trains just on top of each other going in, and she just thought the world had ended.
It's scary stuff when you stop to think about it. Thank goodness the train only traveling at 8 miles an hour. Now, Irma, you're just across the street.
Yes, we are, John. I was still at work, and my husband got a call from Ray Lynn. He was getting up, coming into the kitchen, and she screamed, hollered at the train, and Walt ran right out. And they were in the haze, and Gary, of course, was there, and all hell broke loose, John. We're very blessed. There's somebody up there that loves us. Hopefully they will keep everybody safe. But yeah, it's herring. Our houses are toxic. Well, Walter said I've been toxic for 56 years, so what's the difference? But anyway, I just bless the firemen, everyone, John. All our emergency workers. I was at the command center, our council people, everyone here. But thank you to the good Lord, and they're going to do what they can do for people of Paulsboro. And we're tough, John. We're resilient. We'll get through it.
Normally it's Irma and I for Community Notes, which we always look forward to. This is a different kind of program, and we want it to be informative to you. So stay with us. We're going to come back, and we're going to go behind the scenes to the Unified Command to give you an idea of how this issue has been responded to by both the professionals and mainly your neighbors and volunteers. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
Multi-policy discount. Paperless discount. Paid in full discount. Homeowners discount. Safe driver discount. Chipmunk family reunion. Someone stole the nuts. Squirrel jail. Justice.
Countless discounts. Now that's progressive. Call or click today.
Thinking about a new appliance or an LCD TV? Don't think twice. Think Weiss. Weiss True Value has a full line of LCD TVs plus a great variety of appliances. And of course, hardware items like True Test paints, Master Mechanic tools, electrical supplies, key duplicating, and Rug Doctor rentals. And for repairs on screens and windows, look no further. Weiss True Value, from making keys to selling appliances and LCD TVs. Don't think twice. Think Weiss. 39 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
So we continue with our behind-the-scenes look at the response to this railroad derailment and issue that has struck this area. With me now is Rob Fender. He works for Norfolk Southern and the Conrail division of Norfolk Southern, and it's been his responsibility to coordinate how people are getting assistance who have had to either be evacuated or moved temporarily. So Rob, first of all, thank you. You visit us in circumstances, but this is your job. So there's a human side to this. I mean, obviously we have rail cars off dealing with product, but there's a people part of this, and I'm generally getting feedback that you're doing well.
Well, thank you. I think we are. First of all, I want to acknowledge the presence of the Red Cross. They've been a big help to us at our assistance center. We have established an assistance center at the fire station on Swedesboro Road, and we will maintain a presence there for as long as needed.
And this show, as I've said repeatedly, taping December 2nd. Presently, those hours are when?
Presently, we will be open the rest of this week, 8 to 8, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day.
And what do people who have been affected when they stop in? What services are being rendered? What can they expect?
Well, they can expect to fill out just one simple form, and then meet with one of our folks there. We have approximately 30 people there currently. We will assess their needs and make some arrangements, whether it be lodging or meals or laundry or just about anything.
Well, we had an estimate at one point. It was thought that in the 12th square block area there could be up to 500 people. That's not as densely populated area as that. We've had 48 households that are affected. What numbers have you seen come through the center?
First night, we addressed approximately 100 people that came in. We've had a steady stream off and on since then, but it varies. It's fluid.
And when they come there, you mentioned you're helping with lodging, the basics of food. Presently, we're out. How many days lodged so far? I guess 2 days. We're at 2 days.
2 days, yes.
As of today.
2 days. And we have, assisted people so far with lodging, primarily lodging and assistance with their pets and things like that.
You also mentioned the Red Cross, who hopefully before the day's out we'll get to speak to one of those individuals as well. They've been magnificent.
Yes, they have. They were there since day one. They have been bringing meals, they bring snacks, they bring drinks to our assistance center, which makes people feel comfortable while they're there.
But your turnaround time, someone walks in, I noticed the other day, the processing seems, and by the way, as we're saying this, we're hoping no one else has to take advantage of this, and the only repeat business he has is just people either getting up to speed that are affected or having to be renewed if they're out an additional day.
That's correct. That's correct. The processing time when you come to our center is small right now. I'm staffed very well, and I have professionals there to work with the folks.
Well, and by the way, these people weren't sitting in the firehouse waiting for this to happen. Where's your group assembled from, Rob? Where's your team from?
All over the country. I've got people from Kansas. I've got people from Virginia. I've got people from this area. A lot of different places. So
as a company, you're geared up for rapid response should circumstances present themselves someplace domestic U.S.?
Yes, sir. That's true. We are geared up to do that, and we want to make sure that the folks are taken care of.
As I said, there's a real human side to this. I mean, the issue of derailment, the physical stuff could be taken care of. When people have to be displaced, they've got to be looked after.
That's absolutely true. This has been a disruption to everybody's lives. The best we can do is make it go a little easier and take care of whatever expenses or needs they have.
I can tell you it's greatly appreciated. And for the people that are affected, there are people behind the scenes that care very much about you. And we're very hopeful over these next handful of days this thing comes to a very quiet conclusion. And Rob doesn't have to meet any more of our local residents. But if in fact something does have to occur, the reason we wanted to have him visit is so you got a sense that there are people that are going to be there, as they have been now, to help you. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
Life is a journey that we travel with a lot of uncertainty. When your family is faced with change and you're in need of understanding, direction, honesty, and professionalism, we at the Landolfi Funeral Home have a tradition of assisting you with all of your needs in any way that we can. We offer many affordable funeral services. Please feel free to call us with any questions you may have or visit us at www.landolfifuneralhome.com.
Rizzo Family Chiropractic Center in Gibbstown offers pain relief with a difference. Using specific chiropractic adjustments, Rizzo Family Chiropractic will get to the root of your problem quickly. Bring your headaches, neck, back, joint, or limb pain to Dr. Karen Rizzo. If you have recurring pain, chiropractic can help. Rizzo Family Chiropractic can relieve many sources of pain without extended treatment and ongoing therapy. Give your family the gift of caring professional pain relief with a difference. Rizzo Family Chiropractic.
Well, that's going to do it for this update. This is version number 2. We hope version number 3 is the one that we say everything is done. Fred has reminded me that Amy has put together a link on our Facebook page. And Fred thinks it's called Eye on Paulsboro 2011. Fred, is that correct? We think that's what it is. I don't really understand Facebook. Just search for Eye on Paulsboro. There'll be updates and links we can go to. Also, county website is now engaged with updated information. You go to www.Gloucester County, I think it's .gov. You can Google them. That's going to be a place. And you can expect through the community more information flowing much faster than has presently been. And for Fred Buchter behind the camera, who has interrupted his Thursday to handle this with a quick turnaround, and thank you, Fred. For Bill Crane, our producer, who is in another location today, we think of Bill all the time. Irma?
John, I think Bill's watching over us, and you know what? God's in control, and he'll take care of Paulsboro, and Paulsboro people will be back.
I think that about sums it up. So for all of us here, stay safe and continue to listen for direction. As we think this thing's concluding, this has been a great lesson to know. We've got to pay attention. That's going to do it. Irma?
I will be back on Broad Street as soon as I get my birthdays out of my house.
Until next time.